do you all feel about pastries? Hi, I'm Frieda. I'm a tour guide in Hasidic Brooklyn, New York, and today I want to introduce you to some of the most divine pastry offerings you can find in Hasidic Williamsburg. I actually think that Williamsburg is one of New York City's most undiscovered gems, especially when it comes to its exceptional culinary creations. In order to share with you the best of the best, I visited the neighborhood on a Friday when all the streets are bustling, when the bakeries are overflowing with pastries hot out of the oven, and the whole neighborhood smells like baking challah bread and sweet melted chocolate. Behold my curated list of the absolute top Hasidic pastry staples. Number one is, of course, Rugelach, the little croissant that is generally a very famous staple for Jews altogether, not just in the Hasidic community, although in the Hasidic community it also goes by the name of Kippola, and it comes in a limited and specific set of variations.
Ooh, the Rugelach look really good. We're gonna try the Rugelach.
The dough might be filled with chocolate, vanilla, or cinnamon, and the dough might be dairy, which means it would have butter or maybe cheese even, and it might be non-dairy, which means it would be made with margarine or shortening. It also comes in two kinds of doughs, a more challah bread kind of dough and a flaky, crispy, melting in your mouth dough.
This is a non-dairy pastry, so you can feel it's made with margarine or shortening. And this is sort of crispy on the outside a little bit, but not very much. It has this heavy chocolate mixture.
Number two on my list is Kokosh Cake. I like to share with people the Kokosh Cake because one, it's less touristy for me, it is more authentic, and two, because the word Kokosh is a fun word which you use sort of to say someone is kind of a basket case, they are Kokosh.
I want a real authentic Kokosh cake. It's a babka. I know what I'm talking about. Kokosh cake is like babka. It's also very chocolatey. There's also no dairy. It's like a lot of chocolate. It's insanely candied. It becomes candy-like, and it's like coated in that crispy candy. Okay, it's my favorite.
Number three is Delkelach. It is a mini Danish. It is originally a Hungarian pastry. It's a piece of dough that has been filled with sweet farmer cheese or ricotta cheese and then tied up like a little flour. And it is always very buttery. It is traditionally served on the holiday Shavuos, but is something that is available in the neighborhood all year round and is probably the face of dairy pastries altogether. Number four is cinnamon buns.
This is the cinnamon buns. They're extremely soft. They're like challah bread covered in sugar.
Cinnamon buns are a lot like the round cinnamon buns you'll find elsewhere, but they're in a log. When my mother was making cinnamon buns, when she went through that phase, she had to introduce a lock on the freezer.
Look at this oily, okay. This crispy fat. It's very good.
Number five is the chocolate twist. The chocolate twist is a more modern, perhaps, take on the Rugelach, and it is a lot more of a breakaway in your mouth and melt away kind of pastry.
This is a chocolate twist. It has cheese and chocolate in it, and it is very dairy and very doughy and very delicious. It is definitely the best of everything I've tried so far. It has the right amount of chocolate. Can't stop.
Number six is Rum Balls, and Rum Balls are something very different. It is an intense chocolatey ball with rum in it, often coated in sprinkles or something else that's fun.
Oh my God. This is the biggest ass rum ball I've ever seen. So it is made of it's like a brownie cake that's been smushed together with rum. My son asks if you can get drunk on these, which I'm pretty sure you can't. You have to eat a hell of a lot of these giant rum balls. It's very intense. It's too intense for me. Very, very sweet. and very chocolatey.
Number 7 is Yodels. Yodels are one of those delicious things that are served on very festive occasions.
Hell, nur du ein Jodel für was? Oh. Ah, now that's a proper Yodel.
When we had it, I always knew it to be a very sour creamy interior, but the ones we tried at 2 different locations for this visit were actually a rich cheese, a cheese Danish kind of interior.
So sweet.
And lastly, which is very seasonally appropriate for when I'm making this video in March, right on the eve of the holiday Purim, we have Hamen Tashen.
This is Hamen Tashen. Hamen Tashen are a special pastry for the holiday Purim, and these look really ugly. There's apricot jam in the middle, but actually the greens Hamen Tashen are so good to taste.
Hamen Tashen are triangle pastry for the holiday Purim, commemorate Haman, the evil Haman character that he was defeated, and it is traditionally filled with a fruity jam, like an apricot jam or a raspberry jam, and it has a very cakey dough. And the more modern takes, the more trendy current takes are to fill it with maybe a really cheesy dairy variation and dip it in Nutella or something like it, and caramel. You can find these pastries in pretty much any of the bakeries. They will welcome you and your patronage, and I think you will find that it is just as delicious as you can imagine.